The Susan Holt Liberals have tabled their second budget, and here are some of the key numbers. Despite all the talk in recent weeks about spending cuts, spending is actually up in the coming year, and so is the budget deficit. This year's deficit is $1.37 billion, and in the coming year, it's going to creep up to $1.39 billion. You may remember the Premier saying she wanted all government departments to look for savings of 10%. Only 3 departments are reducing spending at all, and none of them by 10%. Healthcare spending is going up 17% compared to this year's budget plan, and 6% compared to what is actually being spent this year. The government plans to put tolls on non-New Brunswick traffic at the Nova Scotia border, but the $10 million a year that brings in will barely put a dent in those deficits. Now let's look at the longer-term picture. The Liberals promised balanced budgets in every year of their 4-year mandate. But by the time they go back to the polls in 2028, the deficit will still be way up there at $1.27 billion. And the total accumulated debt, $13.9 billion right now, will be closing in on $20 billion by then. The Holt Liberals said they would make difficult decisions in this budget. They are now saying that those decisions to control spending will be made in the longer term.
There's more decisions happening. We're just in a position right now strategically that we don't have to be rash. We can do it. We can take our time, have a discussion, and do it accordingly with stakeholders.
Overall, I consider it to be a highly irresponsible budget from a fiscal standpoint. I would even dare to say that it's a complete dereliction of duty, meaning that the track on which we're on right now is completely unsustainable.
Here at the legislature, there was a lot of reaction to this budget.
Yeah, it seems this government has no plan to return to balancing the budget here in the province, which is very disappointing. And, we're seeing net debt increase 30% in just a couple of years now in the province.
$1.39 billion is definitely it's a big number. And they were talking about a lot of difficult decisions and what it's going to mean for New Brunswickers. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of fear, a lot of talk around that. And in the end, there weren't really major difficult decisions made.
I think the Premier changed her mind. I think the Premier decided that based on the opposition to the kinds of cuts they were talking about, she wasn't willing to take on the wrath of so many New Brunswickers from so many corners of the province and in so many sectors.
The budget's going to be debated for 2 weeks, and then there'll be spending estimates in committee for the month of April, where we may get some more details of some particular spending and cutting decisions.